Welcome to Mind Your Self Defense YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give you guys some recommendations on what to look for a self-defense flashlight. I believe that flashlights are one of the best self-defense weapons to carry, EDC, which is everyday carry, for a couple reasons. One, they're legal, so you could carry them almost everywhere. Actually, I have yet to see a place tell me I cannot take a flashlight. You could take them to restaurants, you could take them to bars, you could take them to concerts, you could take them pretty much everywhere. And you could either conceal them or you could open carry them. And no one's going to give you any static for that. But there are some requirements for a self-defense flashlight. To me, there's a difference between a regular flashlight and a flashlight that you plan on fighting with. Back in the 80s and 90s, everybody used to think that the Maglite was the fighting light, and that's what police used to carry. And it was big, it was heavy, and it can be used as a blunt weapon. The thing about that is when you start learning how to fight close grappling style, if it's too long, it could be leveraged against you. So they could use it and rip it out of your hands, and then they could use it against you. So understanding that when you find a flashlight that you plan on fighting with, that it needs to meet some certain requirements. One of them is length. It can't be really long, so you give them something to grab onto. Two is functionality. It has to be easy for you to turn on and turn off with a little bit of movement as possible with your fingers, where you don't have to change your grip on it. Three, it has to be durable. It has to be strong enough so you could hit someone with it and your flashlight's not going to break and hurt you by mistake. Four, it has to be bright. It has to be bright enough, and I'll get into why afterwards. So those are my requirements. If you have any requirements that you think that you could add on to the list, feel free to leave a comment. But my requirements are those four. All right, or was that three? I don't know, whatever. So I looked around and I've had a couple, I can't even tell you how many flashlights I got. I got a lot. But tactical ones, EDC ones, self-defense ones, whatever you want to call them, I only have four. And they're Olight brand. All of them are Olight brand. I started with the original Warrior, the Warrior X Pro. And then they came up with a Gen 2 and Gen 3, and now they're on the Gen 4. And I carried my Warrior X Pro, the original one, for a long time. And it started having issues after about 6 years. So I contacted Olight, and they told me to mail it to them. So I sent it in to them. They were not able to fix it, so they replaced it with the new Warrior X4, which is the new generation. Which to me was cool, but it kind of sucked because the Warrior X Pro they don't make anymore, and it had a color scheme. It was like a copper camouflage they don't do anymore. So, I was kind of sad that I lost that color scheme. But anyways, so the new Warrior X4, I've had it for, say, about 7 months now, and I love it. I love it. It has the same requirements that I required from any of the other Warrior brand flashlights. So this is the Warrior X3. Okay. Now they don't make this. Oh, sorry for the reflection. So this is the Warrior X3. So they don't make this this particular model anymore. But you see the ring on it? That was the self-defense ring that they had on it. And this was, it was 2,500 lumens of brightness on high beam, and it had a throw of 560 meters. So a throw is the distance that the light travels. Okay, So your biggest things is you want high lumens and you want a good throw. So this was on the Warrior X3. The new one, the one they sent me for the warranty replacement, which is the Warrior X4. Okay, this one is 2600 lumens. Sorry, I'm trying to reduce the glare. 2600 lumens, and the throw is 630. So you got 100 more lumens, and you have almost 100 more meters of throw. Okay, but you notice there's no ring on there, no self-defense ring. Okay, now, so here's the actual flashlight, and you notice I have my self-defense ring on it. I took it off of my Warrior X3, and I put it on this one, and it works fine. Okay, and it does come with a holster. Okay, it has a good clip. At first I was worried about this on my belt. Maybe it was going to slip off, or because I was used to the ones that are one piece that doesn't have an opening on it. And now I've had it for, like I said, 8 months now, and I carry it every single day, and I haven't had any issues with it coming off or moving around or anything on my belt. Cool thing is you could slide it off. It's very easy to take off. You put in, you snap it back in, and it does sit pretty sturdy in there, so I don't have to worry about it falling out or any of that kind of stuff. All right, so it does come with this holster. Okay, so what do we need in a tactical flashlight? Okay, so here what I want to do is we'll start from the front and work our way to the back. The front, if you notice, it has a beveled edge. Okay, you see these ridges on here. Those are for glass breaking, but if you hit someone in the face with that, it's going to hurt a lot more than a smooth surface. Also, too, this flashlight is made out of an alloy. It's not plastic. You don't want a plastic flashlight if you're going to hit someone with it. The main thing, besides the ring, which helps me grip it, where I could throw punches with it, fight, it has a single button control, which means I could hold it in my hand and still throw punches and turn it on without letting go of my grip or my punch to hit someone. All right. So what I do if I'm going to, the way I train it, if I'm going to hit someone with a flashlight, I'm going to do what I call it the flash, slash, and bash, which is I'm going to flash you in the face, then then I'll do it again so you guys can see. I'm going to flash you in the face, slash you, and then I'm going to backhand you and hit you. Okay. The good thing about this flashlight, it's small enough to where it exceeds my hand, so I could hit and make impact, but it's short enough to where my opponent cannot grab it. And I have a solid grip on my hand, and it doesn't change the way I throw punches. Okay, this is why this is my EDC tactical self-defense flashlight. You want high lumens on it because you could blind the person in the daytime. So I would say at least 700 lumens would be minimum. Some people might say that's not bright enough. I think 700 is good enough for the distance that you're going to be at in a self-defense situation. But if you could get one that's higher than 700 lumens, go for it. The one thing I would say is that if you are using a tactical flashlight or a super bright flashlight at night in your house or inside a room or a building, say the power's out or whatever happens, aim it to the ceiling. Don't aim it against the wall, because what happens is it's going to be so bright that you're going to end up blinding yourself. It's going to bounce off of the wall. So aim it to the ceiling and it's going to be enough to light up that whole ceiling or the whole room without you worrying about blinding yourself. That's the one downside if your flashlight is that bright. Okay, but now that you guys know that hack, aim it through the ceiling and you'll light up the whole room and you won't blind yourself, as opposed to pointing in the direction that you want to travel and blinding yourself, because it's going to bounce off of the walls. All right. So, key things: you want it to fit no longer than 1 to 2 inches past the end of your hand. You want one button operation. So you don't want, if this had the control here where I have to slide it like most flashlights do, I would have to let go of the flashlight and change my grip to turn it on and off. So I don't want that. I want something where I can maintain my grip the whole time and I could turn it on. I'm going to have it off camera a little bit to the side so you could see. Okay, that's not even high beam, that's low. That's high beam. Okay, that's low, that's high. So the reason why we want to have one button controls is that if I have the flashlight on the whole time as I'm doing my slash and bash, there's a chance that I can blind myself. So I want to have the button so I could turn it on to blind them, and then when I'm doing my slash and bash, I could turn it off while I'm doing those motions so I don't have to worry about blinding myself. Because if I keep the light on and it's moving around the whole time, I'm going to get used to it and they're going to get used to it. So I'm going to lose the advantage of the blinding them part. So I want to turn it on, blind them, and then hit them. As I'm hitting them, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to hit them with it. And then if I need to again, I'll flash them again, hit them again, and keep doing that. And this way I don't lose the advantage. If I had the kind where it had the buttons on the top and I had to slide it on and off and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be able to do that. So you want something that is very simple to operate, one button control. It doesn't affect the way you punch, and something that doesn't extend too much, made out of some kind of metal or alloy, something that's stronger than plastic. Okay, so this is not a product review. I guess it is kind of product review on this flashlight, but I'm just telling you guys what to look for in a self-defense flashlight. Now, you could still get this flashlight on the Olight store. That's their website, olightstore.com. This is the new version. It's pretty cool. And then they also have a thing here for you to recharge. So it's a rechargeable battery. All right, a lithium battery. You could buy a battery or you could recharge it with the port, and then it has this dust cover so you could lock it up. It also does strobe light, which I personally not a big fan of strobe lights, but it is capable of doing a strobe light. You just have to do the adjustments. But Olight does not carry these rings on their website anymore. But I did do a Google search and you can find them out there. They're like $10. So I do recommend, if you get one of these Warrior flashlights, that you spend the $10 on another site and get this self-defense ring. It's good. It gives you that security on here. Plus, it also gives you a little nipple to hit someone with, and this is steel, so it will hurt when you hit someone with it. All right, so that's what I would say if you're looking for a self-defense flashlight. You want something that has high lumens so you could blind people during the day. You want something that's rigid, that's strong, that's metal or an alloy, that can withstand impact, so when you hit someone, the beveled edges are extra, right? You get a little more bang for your buck. And you want it simple, controlled, one button operation where you don't have to change your grip to turn it on or turn it off. And you want something that fits in your hand, that's not so long that they could grab it and rip it out of your hand, but long enough to where you could get good impact on there. So I wouldn't go longer than 2 inches from wherever the end of your hand is on there. That's my opinion on that. So I do recommend the Olight tactical flashlights. The Warrior series is the ones I carry because it has the throw that I want, and it has the lumens, the brightness that I want, and it has all the components that I want in a tactical flashlight, in the sense of durability, what it's made out of, and how it fits in my hand, and the ease of use. So you guys are looking for a tactical flashlight, take those things in consideration, all right? Because if it's really long, it's very easy for your opponent to grab onto it and leverage it against you. Okay, so I want you guys to think about how to set up your self-defense flashlight. I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave me comments. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, hit the notification buttons, and I'll see you guys next week. Remember, only you can unleash your inner badass.